Hello and welcome to another studio vlog. Now, I haven't done a studio vlog for at least a couple of weeks. Well, I haven't uploaded one for a couple of weeks. I haven't really recorded anything for not a lot for 4 weeks. Things have been tough. I mentioned in my last vlog that I had a headache and it was really bad. It had wiped me out. I have got to the point where I am now in my 4th week of headaches. Yesterday I was flat out, couldn't get out of bed. It's just been up and down for the last 4 weeks and it has affected me financially. It's had a big impact on my business and it's affecting me emotionally as well. And I thought, look, I'll just tell you what's going on and also tell you what I did manage to get up to. So if we haven't met before, hello and welcome. My name is Leanne. I am a metalsmith and an artist with a business called Leanne Allison Designs, where I design and create watercolor jewellery for eco-conscious souls. But this is a bit of an interesting one for you if this is your first vlog. Usually I have lots to show you. I will be working through things. Not a whole lot has happened in the last 4 weeks. So, mentally and physically, these headaches have pretty much broken me. I will have the odd day where I'm good, but most of the days I'm either groggy or just feeling really off. And then there are some days where I'm so unwell that I've been stuck in bed. The first week was almost a write-off. By the end of the week, I did manage to get a couple of little things done. I think I managed to cut out some foxes. I cut out some cat heads. I think I'd done a few little things, but I hadn't done much. During the next week, again, like even sort of over that weekend, I wasn't well. Into the next week, still not well. And I wasn't able to do any social media. I wasn't able to record videos. I was starting to feel helpless. Then I managed to do just enough to be able to get a video up, which was good. And then on the Friday, I had a good day. So we went to Queenscliff and I'll tell you about that later. I'll tell you about the couple of really good things that did happen. But yeah, things have been tough. So yeah, I've taken a big hit financially. There has been no income coming in. I feel broken. I feel absolutely broken. Now, normally I can kind of keep rolling when I've got these headaches, but I have spent so much time stuck in bed or just sort of able to do a couple of things and then have to go for a lie down and then get up and do a couple of things and then have to lie down again. It's been challenging. And at one point I just thought my business is going to go. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose my business. And thankfully, Doug had some time off work, so he had a little bit of extra money from some overtime, so there were a couple of bills I needed to pay and I managed to do that. But yeah, I was going to go to Creek and Bay last week, which is one of the shops, or the only shop that I stock now. I was going to go and drop some things off on the Thursday and I got on the bus and I was partway through the journey and I felt sick and I had to get off the bus. I had to ring Doug and thankfully he hadn't gone out to do whatever he was doing for the day. So he came and picked me up and yeah, I basically went back to bed and spent the rest of the day in bed. Then on the Friday, he asked me how I was feeling and I'm like, I'm feeling okay. So we got in the car and we drove to Creek and Bay. And that was good because I managed to get some stock changed over. I brought home some of the silver pieces I had and I put some of my new watercolor pieces in, and so hopefully I can start selling some pieces there, which would be great. I did manage to finish another market application. I have applied for the waiting list, so I just need to wait and see if I make it onto their stallholder list, which would be great. And I'm waiting to hear from the other big market as well. but yeah, things have been tough. I spent a lot of time watching YouTube videos because it's all I could do. When I've got a headache, I can't read because it hurts. I have to generally lie down. I don't have sound or light sensitivity, which is good. So I can watch videos as long as I've got the screen sort of at a certain angle. I can watch, and I tend to sleep a lot as well. I often don't eat as much. And another problem that I get is that with the medication I need to take, I end up with delayed gastric emptying. So my stomach doesn't function the way it should. It doesn't paralyze, it just slows right down. It's a bit like gastroparesis, but it's very temporary, and it works its way out eventually. But I've got some tablets that I can take to try and speed that up. But while it's so slow, I'm just not getting the nutrients from the food that I've eaten because it's just sitting in my stomach for such a long time. It also means that any tablets I take are not being ground up as quickly as they should be. So often I might wake in the middle of the night feeling the effects of whatever tablet I've had to take for my health. And rather than when I should have been feeling it hours and hours ago. So it's, so dealing with that and the headaches, I still have a headache now. I'm on week 4. So it's been getting me down. What I've decided to do is to either start maybe a buy me a coffee page, or maybe a Patreon account or something, where I can add other bits and pieces and maybe have a membership, so that there are times when maybe I can record a video but I can't necessarily do a lot of other work. Or as I'm working, I can do some videos of how I paint things from start to finish and offer those as a behind the scenes thing. I can also offer sort of patterns. So maybe with my bee, I can offer the pattern, so that, you know, if you want to paint your own bee, you've got the shape and all of that sort of stuff. So that was the idea I had, and maybe, you know, I can get a tip here and there just to kind of help me keep my head above water during the times where I'm not so well. I want to get to the point where I've got enough stock that, you know, things can sell and I can just send Doug to the post office. But because this is such a new collection, I haven't got to that point yet. So I was sitting there and I was looking at what I've got, and I'm like, I don't have a lot of pieces. So I did manage to get some pieces up to Creek and Bay. So hopefully I can start selling some stuff there. I did a bit of a wander around the shop. I was chatting to Clover and her son Fox, and their dog Maisie was there. Maisie's gorgeous. Both Clover and Fox are gorgeous too. They're such lovely humans. The shop is just beautiful. There are so many wonderful things there. So and I really appreciate everything that they do for me, which is great. So I am giving them a shout out, and I'll put links to their socials in the description. But so it was nice to catch up with them and feel a little bit better again. I did manage to get a few other things done. So the little foxes that I'd been working on, they're finally done. They just need the backs finished, but they're sealed on the front. I wanted them to be quite loose and sort of a bit cartoony, and I think I've achieved that. I'm happy with them. They're really cute, so I might do another couple of pairs of those. The cats that I was doing, I cut them out in a certain way and started to paint them, and then wasn't happy. I wanted them to be kind of more cartoony. So I came up with this design, which I do like. I don't know about the whiskers. I prefer the whiskers to come out the side of the face. So I might do another one just on paper and sort of do this and the other one and see which one I like better. And then whichever one I go with, I can just cut the shapes out for that going forward. Just doing it on paper will help me to make the decision rather than cutting out metal and kind of wasting the metal. I did manage to get some irises started, but that's as far as I got with those. And one of the cat heads I did smudge, so I had to sand it back and start again, but that's fine. Oh, and the cookies. The cookies, I love the cookies so much. I love these cookies. Look how gorgeous the cookies are. Oh, there we go. Oh, I think they're fantastic. They look so good. Oh, I'm so in love with the cookies. So I'm going to do lots more cookies because they're pretty easy to paint. So I've kind of been going through a lot of just a bit of soul searching, I suppose, trying to work out what steps to take next, which direction to go in. So I do need to paint more. I've got some bird of paradise that need to be painted up. I might have started them at one point, but I had to sand them back because I wasn't happy. But yeah, so my idea is to do a lot more behind the scenes stuff, some stuff that people would want to pay a membership fee for, because that will help me to make other money in my business. I do need to get a lot more pieces made, especially if I'm going to be doing these big markets. The plan is to do the big markets, but yeah, so I need to have more stock for that. But also, I'm going to explain this in another video, but at the moment I've only got my Etsy store up because I really don't have enough stock to put onto a Shopify site. Because I do each piece by hand, obviously it's they're one of a kind, so I would want each piece painted before I actually list it. So yeah, so all this stuff going on in my head, I'm just struggling with just how to run my business when I am having these flat spots. Normally I can work around them. Normally I have a headache and then I have a little bit of time where I can get some stuff done. This time it has hit me so hard, it has broken me. And I just, at one point, I didn't think that I'd be able to go back together. I felt like I was broken and I didn't know if I could put myself back together. I'm feeling a little bit more confident now, feeling a little bit better about everything, but I'm just going to have to take it easy and sort of slowly get back into things. I don't want to burn myself out by going at things too quickly again, but I need to start making money. Otherwise, my business is gone. So that's where I'm at. But a couple of really good things did happen. So apart from going up to Creek and Bay, which I loved, one of the days we went to Queenscliff. So we live in Mornington, which is on the eastern side of Port Phillip Bay. We drive down to Sorrento and then we catch the ferry across to Queenscliff as foot passengers, and then we walk into Queenscliff. And they're sort of on the western side of the bay, on the Bellarine Peninsula. Queenscliff is beautiful. So the ferry ride is great. It's just awesome to sort of watch the land go by, and then we pull into Queenscliff, we walk in, we spend the day over there, we have lunch. There's a couple of gorgeous galleries that we like to go in. The houses around there are just beautiful. We wander around and just look at some of the old houses and the old buildings, and it really is, it's a lovely place. We love it, so we try and do that a few times a year. So we had lunch in the park and wandered around a little bit more and then caught the ferry home again. We went into Portsea for a little while and went to the pub and just had a drink. I just had a soft drink because I am now alcohol free. I have been for almost a year. And we just sort of saw the ferry go past and just enjoyed the sunshine a bit more. Then we got in the car and came home, and by that point I wasn't feeling well again. The headache was back. But I just we decided that we wanted to go out, and I could have stayed home and worked that day, but I thought, no, I need to get out of the house. I need to kind of reward myself for just for putting up with the way I'd been feeling and dealing with it, and the fact that I'd been stuck in the house for so long. So yeah, it was nice to get out. And then last week, again, it hit me. I had a few days where I was really unwell, a couple of days where I was sort of okay. Thursday was obviously not a good one when I felt ill on the bus. Even Friday night, I didn't feel great, and woke up Saturday and we were heading to Bendigo with my mum and dad for the Lost Trades Fair. I still had my headache. My mum wasn't feeling well, but we're like, nope, we are going. And Bendigo is about a 3.5 hour trip from us. So we drove to Bendigo. We went to the Bendigo woolen mills because I want to crochet something I'd like to enter into the Royal Melbourne Show later on this year. So I wanted to have a look at their cotton. I now know which pieces which balls I want. So the next time we go up there, I will get some of that. And yeah, we went to the tram museum and we just had a little look there and watched the tram come in. And then went back to the motel for a while. We went out for dinner, and then the next day we went to the Lost Trades Fair. Now, my mum wasn't feeling so well, so she just sort of sat in the grandstand. We wandered around. There was so many great things to see. It was quite warm. It was very sunny. We've had a lot of really warm weather here in Melbourne. We haven't had a lot of rain, so I'm hoping that it rains this weekend because our garden is desperate for it. We've been trying to keep the water up to the plants, but they are struggling a little bit. But yeah, this Lost Trades Fair, oh my goodness, it was so fabulous. There were horologists there. I think they're horologists. They're clockmakers. There were people who facet gemstones. There were woodworkers. There was a scroll saw. My mum's a scroll saw artist, and she loved seeing the kid, you know, on the pedal-driven scroll saw. There was lead lighters and stained glass people, and you know, other really lost trades, the ones like blacksmithing and just all of that kind of fabulous stuff. I watched a lady named Rachel, who is a silversmith. She was casting metal in cuttlefish, and my dad and Doug watched a cooper make a barrel. So they stood for quite some time watching the guy put this barrel together. And then Doug and I were watching a guy doing some bookbinding, and I was absolutely mesmerized just watching him do the stitching and then sort of gluing the back and then hammering the spine into a shape. And yeah, it was great. It was so much fun. There was a lady there with a 100-year-old sock knitting machine, and she was knitting socks, and a seamstress who made the most beautifully tailored jackets. There were knitters and basket makers and just so many wonderful, wonderful things to see. We had such a great time, and yeah, we can't wait to go back next year. We really enjoyed it. Then we got in the car. We left quite early, and it was a bit sad to leave early because there was so much more that we wanted to see, but we thought, no, we just, you know, I'm not feeling good, Mum wasn't feeling good, so we thought it's time to go home. On the way home, we stopped in Woodend, which is a beautiful little town, and we stopped at Berkey's Bakery, which is one of my favourite places. They have such lovely food. I didn't eat anything, but Doug got a pie, and yeah, he loves the pies from there, so yeah, he had a pie, but my stomach was all playing up, so yeah, I just had something to drink, but it was just nice. I do enjoy Berkey's, and I just love Woodend. It's such a lovely little town. Then we got back in the car. We were heading home. We were heading across the bridge, and yeah, just seeing Melbourne stretched out there in front of us. It was lovely. So we got home by about 5 o'clock, which is very early for us. We normally wouldn't be home until well, we wouldn't get back to Mum and Dad's until sort of 8:30, and then we wouldn't be home until about 9 or so. But yeah, it was lovely. It was nice to get away, even just for one night. Unfortunately, by the time I got home, I really wasn't feeling well. And then the last 2 days, yesterday and Monday, I just wasn't great. Yesterday was a bad day. I was stuck in bed. So I'm a bit sad. I'm trying to work out what to do. I might jump into one of the groups I'm in and have a chat to my mentor and some of the people in there and just try and work out a bit of a plan, because I'm trying not to get emotional about this, but yeah, I was so worried that I was going to lose my business, and this is the worst it's ever been. I've had times where I've been sick before, but I have still managed to do some things. These last few weeks have been atrocious. I just haven't been able to get anything done. So I'm at that point where I need a plan B. I can't work for anybody else. Like, when these headaches flare, I mean, this has been really bad, but when they flare, I end up flat out for a few days, and I would end up taking a lot of time off work. I have had people label me as unreliable, which I don't think is fair. I'm not unreliable. My health is unreliable. And, you know, I would rather be helping you doing what you need me to do rather than being stuck in bed. It's not me making that choice. I just can't. So, yeah, it's a little bit hurtful to be called unreliable, but it is what it is. So, yeah. So that's my thoughts. I'm thinking that, I might, do a lot more behind the scenes stuff and maybe have a little membership thing so that people can, just pay a little fee, just a small fee each month. And that might help me to kind of keep my head above water during the times where I'm not well and maybe not able to get as much done. Okay, this hasn't been a fun one, has it? Well, you saw a bit of Queenscliff, and you did see a little bit of Melbourne and the Lost Trades Fair and things like that. So there were a few nice things, but yeah. All right, I'm going to leave you. I'll leave you with a couple of shots of the Sacred Heart Cathedral and some shots of the bats at in the gardens in Bendigo. And I am going to go and rest because I am drained again, and this headache is trying to get me, and I'm just not going to let it. I'm going to maybe have a nap and see if I can get it to go. All right, thanks for joining me. Oh, thanks for hanging around. And if you love my work, if you want to see more of it, please subscribe, do all of those things. Pass it on to anybody else that you think might be interested. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. And I will see you hopefully a little bit later this week when I manage to get some things done and I can do another vlog for you. Okay, bye for now.